Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? How you doing today? This evening? How's it going? Y'all, please subscribe if you haven't already. Please follow me on LinkedIn. I am live on both YouTube and LinkedIn. And so, you know how it goes. I'm going to jump into our topic on today, which is just a 2025 recap on my major accomplishments, at least if it's not major to anyone else, it's major to me. I'll say that. That's better. Yeah, I thought so. So today I'm just going to go over some highlights over my year. And before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for making 2025 possible for me. Thank you for those who supported me through the like from my A1 since day ones and the new people who have joined in. I just want to say thank you to my subscribers, people who support me when they can, my friends in business, my family, to everyone. And thank you for the support that's going to come in the future. But I just wanted to say, oh, and maybe I should introduce myself for those of you guys who don't know me because I know I have new subscribers and new followers. So, my name is Brittany C. I am a nonprofit strategist. And what I do is try to take the guesswork out of funding, try to make it less boring or more enthusiastic, or to be honest, if talking about grants and profit is your favorite subject, it's never boring to begin with. But sometimes, if you don't know the process, it can get a little daunting and tedious, a little bit scary. I try to ease that tension by just giving you what you need with no red tape. So that is me. That's what I do. So my 2025, we are in the last year, the last month of the year, 20 December 2025. And so I want to just preface this video by saying this. I didn't, this like hit me kind of all at once when I just sat down and thought about it, because I'm like, what do I want to say to my audience about my year? I talked about trending topics. I also took on politics. I talked about pivoting and not panicking. I want to tell you about my time on Now Media TV and how that gave me exposure. So, starting off with what I just said before, the trending topics at the time. I'm not saying that no other grant writer was talking about this, because I know plenty what were, but I just know from my channel, for the followers that I have, it was a first coming from me. It was a first coming from me. So at the time, we had the funding freeze where there had to be executive orders put in place to spend the funding. $3 trillion were on pause for the first 90 days because of Doge. But then, because of that, judge in Washington, D.C., as well as the amazing people that were nonprofits in the legal field that said, hey, this can't happen. So, to the great, amazing people who stopped this, and it became a hot topic for me to talk about. So, I want to just give credit where credit is due. Hey, Tanya, I do a lot. I do a lot, but I don't ever want to make it seem like, oh, this is all for me. But it is, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. And it was those amazing people, not just in Washington, DC, but also in Georgia, GCN. They let me, I did a segment on that already. It's in my older videos if you want to go through it and look. But yes. that's what I was able to talk about. Also, how I got on Now Media TV. You all have seen like the past 8 episodes that I put on there. At the time, I wasn't able to post those episodes, but now I am. Just as proof that, hey, a TV show picked me up. Is and the network is here on YouTube. It's everywhere. It's on LinkedIn, Facebook. It's everywhere. So how, because of the hot and trending topics that I was talking about, the funding, what's going to happen with it, giving you guys tips, letting you know like, hey, if it's stopped or paused for any reason, let's not panic about it. Here are practical next steps that you can do, right? So because I was talking about that at the time, that's how Now Media TV, shout out to them as well. Shout out to Now Media TV for giving me a chance. And I just said what I said in those episodes. And at the time, it was a trending topic. So if those 8 episodes are there and if they're repetitive, that's why. That's why. But it's still exposure on a hot topic that not many people in the grant field were talking about. This made news, it made headlines, but I was fortunate enough to have them pick up what I was doing. And also, shout out to Nora El Masri for hosting Echoes of Impact. So through Now Media TV, I was on her show, Echoes of Impact. And what we both talk about, and I know Nora very well, she's also in nonprofit, but for taxes and accounting. And when she found out what I was talking about, she's like, "Yeah, I got to have this person on my show." So that's what ended up happening. And another perk is she's my best friend. So it's good to have friends that are in business that can also help you promote your business. Y'all remember that. And if you're looking for a friend, come my way, right? I like to help those, like we all like to help those that help themselves. Also, let me see what other goodies I got here. I took on politics. I took on politics. This surprised even me because I just kind of stick to one topic and let that be that. I don't do I try not to do too much. I also try not to say my biases because everyone has their opinion and who they vote for and whatever, and I just don't want to be that person that's either extreme positive or extreme negative on somebody else's opinion, somebody else's feelings. So that's another reason why I keep my biases out of political speak whenever I'm talking about it. But that does not mean I don't see what's going on. I see it, may not say it, but I do see it. At the time, at the time of the funding freeze in January, that's when I took that on, as well as the recent shutdown that was lifted. It started October 1st, and 43 days later, we're back to the government being open, the the benefits that are restored for medical, for SNAP, TANF, food, for WIC. But the unfortunate side is like for the Affordable Care Act, that's rising a little bit more than what people can do right now. But there are, and I'm just recently finding out about this, there are people that have grants in place. They're trying to get funding so those costs can kind of come down, be it in the pharmacy or just in your local community. Just ask around and look out for that. But that was a part of taking on politics because whether we want to really believe it or not, funding, grant funding, federal funding, it does affect us as people, whether we're working class, where or not. Funding affects everyone. Funding is how things get taken care of. Like, for example, our military needs to be funded. Our, as you see, our medical for those that need their medications, that requires funding. And where is it coming from? It's coming from our reserves, our funding reserves. It's coming from grants. It's coming from federal funding. It's coming from the political office. It's coming from donors and fundraisers, and it's coming from all other miscellaneous sources. So with that being said, that's that's something that, like I said, I surprised even myself when I took this on, because what started off as me just saying, let me just let everyone know what's going on with this, that internal voice that we listen to. I call it God, you can call it whatever you want. But it's just like, yeah, people don't know, people might be panicked, just talk about this. And that's how I got into it. Another thing was, I let y'all know to pivot versus panic. So pivoting over panicking, because it's easy to, you know, run around like a headless chicken screaming, this is something that's going to be bad, this is something that's going to affect, without actually trying to see where the solution can fall. And that's been a challenge for me, for my audience, because I was saying to myself, how do I do this where I myself am not the reason to cause panic, but I'm saying, hey, let's let me say what I have to say about this. And it's not meant to scare you. Let me tell you the real deal without scaring you into propaganda, to let you know that, yes, this, we're living here, but let's shift our mindset to something else. And that's how that funding freeze transition plan happened. It's still available. I don't know if it's on sale anymore, but it was on sale for Black Friday, and I believe I'm having my end of the year sale too. So if you didn't get it at a discount and you're like, I don't want to pay, I don't want to pay full price, that's fine, because I'm having another end of year sale that goes into January, so you have a chance to get it for a little bit less than what you would usually get it for. That's if you're interested. Let me see. I wanted us, in the situation we were in during the shutdown at the time, using that to our advantage instead of our disadvantage. Using that to say, okay, well, I may not be able to make revenue like I once was. What can I do to make revenue, or what can I do to pivot, instead of like trying to make revenue for myself? What can we do for a cause? Different things like that. And this is what, out of it, that's why I developed that funding freeze transition plan. If you want the plan, the links will be in the description box below. Um, I don't think I put it out here, but it will be. Or if you're on Instagram, if you comment plan, If you see this video or want like it, if you comment plan, a DM will be sent to your DM so you can get it. A link will be sent to you that way as well. But yeah, in a time of crisis, or it's a non-crisis, but it feels like a crisis, yeah, this is how we pivot. Also, I do have a confession to make, y'all. Y'all ready for me to come clean? I'm ready to come clean. I have not been consistent, and here's why. For those of you that don't know, I recently graduated in May 2025 from my paralegal program. So I am making moves to incorporate that into my business. I've done it. I'm still working out the kinks, but that is my new service, which is legal, non litigation support and legal review. Also, before this new service, I've been getting more clients and more collaborators. So that's where my attention has shifted. So if you guys are like, where the videos at? Where the information at? We want to know what's going on. I'm getting there, I promise. I promise I'm getting there. I have not forgotten about you guys. You guys have been from the start so patient and understanding with me. And I do appreciate it. I am making more content, and I'm doing more skits and more voiceovers because that's another degree that I'm putting to use. I refuse to be that person that have all the smarts and all the degrees and not utilizing them at all whatsoever. So that's another reason for change in how I deliver content. Also, just trying to do different things to attract another type of audience member, if you know what I mean. So everything that we do, everything that I do, I don't want to make it solely based on sales, but I want to put a little bit of validity, humor into it, relatability in it as well. And I know you guys appreciate me for that. So that's the other things that I want to keep doing. Also, besides all that, I'm making more room for mental health because I have a lot more responsibilities than I did last year and the year before. And so if you don't see me online or you see me on the live every now and then, I do make room for my mental health. Just listening to my body when it says, hey, girl, we're shutting down. You got to stop. So I do take those responses and stop, and you should as well if you haven't. If you can rest, because I know a lot of us have very demanding jobs. I know in the field that I am with both grant writing and legal is very demanding, and it can be very hard to get away. But if I can't take, let's just say, a 3 week vacation right now, there are things I can do in my day to decompress, or maybe I can take 1 or 2 days off from what I've been currently doing. And then that's enough time for me to decompress and get back in the game. But that's another thing that I've been doing because your health is your wealth. If you're no good, you're no good to nobody. If you're crabby, you're sleepy, you're making mistakes, it's obvious, it's noticeable. If you're ornery and on edge, that's why. Now, I'm not saying that, get in a dream pod and never wake up, but I am saying, you know, some people need more naps than others. And also be patient with people for that reason. It's hard because that what I'm just saying right now, it goes against our human code because we thrive, especially like Americans, we thrive on respect. You gotta give it to get it back, right? So it's like if you having all the attitude with me, my nature says, okay, well, I need to get one bigger and better at you. But to just say that, you know what, maybe this person is going through a hard time. I don't know why their attitude is, but I'm not going to take it personal because it has nothing to do with me. Yeah, we are fighting our nature when we do that. No, that's not you being a pushover, but that is you not adding fuel to the fire. And lastly, rolling with the punches. So I talked about all the good things that happen, all of the opportunities, what I've learned from that, sort of. But let me talk about the negative, the obstacles. Let's get into that. So one was getting out of my comfort zone. Me personally, I am like a cat. I do not want to be bothered. Yes. It's like that thing. I have to be bothered in order to get revenue. I have to be bothered to get revenue, but that's just like my personality type. And I talked about also being like an introverted business owner where I need that time to unload and decompress and get some rest, decompress. I need that time to do that. So whenever I do come to you guys, I'm not crabby and ornery. I'm not, and that's your problem. But I am as bubbly and effervescent as I am to give you guys the content that you want to see. And if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments. Leave them in the comments. You can send me an email about it. Just let me know more of what you want to see or what I do. So that was my number one thing, is getting out of my comfort zone and also making my limitations work for me. Another thing is like I started getting negative comments. I posted, this was some time ago. I posted on YouTube a 9-second clip of me on this really big swing that was like a bench, and I use it from CapCut. Like it's no secret, right? Like everyone's using CapCut, just like everyone's using Canva, right? So the voiceover was like, "You deserve this. You deserve all good things. You deserve XYZ," right? 9 seconds. And someone commented, not under that video, under another video, because I guess they couldn't find that one or whatever. Paragraph. You don't deserve nothing. You need to go start from scratch. You need to humble yourself. But at the time, I've been doing this for 5 years. So now on like my YouTube, my audience is recognizing me more, and more of my content is being pushed out. So to have that said about me, I was just like, okay, I didn't let it bother me, and I blocked that comment because I know that I didn't get here by chance. I did a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and that's something sometimes people don't understand. Our overnight success is not really overnight. It doesn't happen in one day. But to look like it happened in one day, it takes years of behind the scenes work. It takes years of putting yourself out there. Some of my videos were very terrible. I didn't have confidence. I was mumbling. I was very repetitive. But now, when you see my videos now, and I don't want to take those down. I had to take some of them down because it was too much. But I want you to see my growth. Like, hey, I wasn't perfect when I first started this, but I have been speaking forever before I decided to speak on camera before you now. Yeah. Also, being underestimated. I have a million and one stories on being underestimated and how I overcame and how that person just doesn't know. And here's the thing you need to know about being underestimated if you are in that box with me. of being underestimated. Knowing your worth, because one person said you're bad, one person said you're not good enough, one person said they're not you're not worthy of that price that you're charging them. Why should they have to invest in you when they don't know that you could really do this? And these are some of like real comments that I was told either verbally or in an email from potential clients. But knowing my worth and standing my ground was me not engaging or interacting with what they had to say, because I know how many hours I'm learning. I know that I'm dedicated to this. I know the ins and outs. I knew they would find me through my videos and everything was good. But then when it came to the pricing, now you're not worried. Well, why should I? I don't want to. I don't want to do that, and that's okay because I know my worth. I think of it like this: if as a potential client, and this is for someone, I'm a business business person. If my price is the minimum to work with me, and you don't pay it, I'm not really losing out. And I look at it like this: we were not a match, and that's okay. Because think about it like this: I have never seen anyone at the grocery store shop around and then argue for every price that they picked out for everything that they needed, and then still try to walk out the store with a basket. I've never seen it, and I probably never will see it. And that's because when you're at the grocery store, they have so many different apples, so many breads, so many of everything, right? You pick what you like and then you pay for it. It's no different than what I'm doing by providing grant services now, legal non litigation review services. So knowing my worth and not backing down is the things that's been keeping me here. No matter that I've been underestimated, it's there. It hurts. But underneath that, I think of this: the person might not have been intentionally hurting my feelings, but they, for whatever reason, instead of just walking away and saying, no thanks, I don't want to pay today, you have all this negativity that you want to put on me when really your wallet is not in agreement with my price. And again, that's okay. I'm not for everyone and I don't pretend to be. But don't try to argue me down to fit what you want me to fit when you wouldn't do that for somebody else. Oh yes, handling racism. Last No, this January, last December, January 2025, I dealt with it. And here's how I dealt with it. Because this person, and guess what? This person is still following me, trying to hack me to this day. And I know I said, like, I was saying to myself, like, I don't want to give them no clout or whatever, but I feel like it's time to tell this, like, short, brief story. There was this person, I don't know who they were. I don't even know if they lived in the States with me or overseas. And that doesn't matter. I was recording my sessions for my workshop that I did, just introducing one of my courses to, I might do that again this year, like for December, or I might do it in January, February, we'll see. So it was a free course. And I talked about the benefits of that course. I gave the course at a discount because it was around the holidays. Why not? The person wrote on there, if like they kept asking me for the recording and I kept saying no. They had multiple accounts on there. So if I booted out one out the room, then it's just like I booted one out the room. So now their other accounts there that they had, they could still like go ping back and forth between accounts. And I did my best to keep control. At the beginning of my slides, they jump to the end because they're mad because they keep asking permission to record it and I'm saying no. So then they write on there in big red letters the N word. They write it on there. The time before that, they scribbled all in purple over my presentation because they got mad that I wouldn't release it to them, like let them record. And whenever I did that announcement, because at first I didn't address it because I'm like, I'm not giving that attention. And no, it's not like, oh, you let that person get away with it. I didn't. I didn't because I didn't know who it was. Then when I did it again, because I had more sessions, I addressed it to my class and I said it like, hey, there's someone in here, fake accounts, trying to sabotage what I'm doing. It's not going to be tolerated. I went on, they still did the same thing. And did you know the very person that called me that racial slur still follows me to this day? I'm not, you want me to give you all of my information for free and you're mad that I don't. And then when I kick you out because you're being rude and disrespectful, you're still mad at me for that. But you follow everything I do. They were even on a professional workshop that I did for another popular nonprofit that you all know of. But the thing I'm saying is if I was that derogatory slur, if I really took it, then and if this person really felt this way about me, why are they still following what I'm doing? And that's the mentality I had cuz again, I don't know who this is and also I'm around a group of people that they don't carry the history of that word. They don't carry the like how that word like makes you feel, how it's designed to make you feel inadequate. A lot of my audience don't know about it and that's not what they carry. But I also knew that it was something to pull me out of character in front of professional people. So, because they had that mentality, well, I'm gonna make you act up if I can't get what I want. And after it was said and done, when I addressed it head on, I got accolades for saying, hey, you handled that beautifully. You handled that really nicely. And we saw what that person did. And no, because I still to this day don't know who this person is, but they follow me. They think they're my number one fan. So again, that's how I handled it because no, you're not going to pull me out of character because I won't let you have what you want. And you're not about to sabotage opportunities for me because you're trying to tell me something, a derogatory slur to make me feel inadequate. Nope. And to any queen out there, any king, doesn't matter your race, but you have had that where a slur has been said about you. I straighten your crown right now because that word does not define you. You don't have to let it. You don't have to let it because, yeah, there is racism wherever we go, but you don't have to dismiss it. You can rise above it. Because again, this person that you have all these accounts that you flip flopping against, this person could not stand it if I were to face them. That's why they were hiding online behind all of these different accounts because they already knew they could call me that, or they felt like they can call me that because it's like, haha, you don't know who I am. And I still don't to this day. But that doesn't negate the fact that you still following me. You still making it known that you are following me and you're doing exactly what my videos tell you to do because you're a coward. That doesn't mean I'm inadequate. That just means you're a coward who thinks you can say whatever you want. And that has consequences because I don't know who, I'm probably never going to know who that person is. But as they're watching this either live or watch on the replay, yeah. And I don't have to lower my dignity because someone said that anyway. Lastly, because I don't want to hold you guys up, and I also I also know how it feels. Leave with grace and also know when and how to leave. And that is the thing that I have mastered since youth. That's how I was raised. Not to yes, there's a time to fight. I mean physically. And there's a time to leave with grace. But when you leave with grace, it's stronger than being pulled out of your character. It's stronger than you fitting a stereotype box because that's what that person is trying to do. When you know when to leave and how to leave, just know that at the first occurrence, you don't, I feel like we get standing our ground mixed with being tough. It's not the same thing. Endurance endurance is its own type of race, but you don't have to keep enduring negativity to prove that you're tough or prove that you're strong by handling it. I would never tell anyone to do that. The first insult, the first underestimation, the first be gone. That's how you leave with grace. You don't have to tell them anything, just leave. Block them if you must, if you are able to, because I know a lot of times we'll be put in situations where we can't block the person and we would have to work with the person. But if you can, walk away. If you must address it, let that person know that they're wrong. Watch your mouth. Watch what comes out of your mouth because the goal is to get you so angry that you're using profane language, you go in there, you just, when I recognize it, I leave. I don't think about that person. I just get out of there. I get out. Or I tell that person that I'm not tolerating this behavior from you. Just know that. And if they start up again, to enforce that boundary, I leave. Or if I can't leave, I'll just go network with somebody else because I'm not taking disrespect. There's more than one way to do it. And sometimes people don't understand words, they understand fists. And you will have to go there on some people. So I'm not saying be a pushover, I'm a pushover. I am saying that you do need to know when to walk away. And you guys are who follow me and guys that are following me in the future. You are very powerful, very smart, very intelligent. And no, you don't have to lower yourself and shrink yourself because people are intimidated by you at first glance or because you're very skilled at what you do and they feel like they're inadequate. Even if you don't have a degree. We can't, I mean, I have them, but having degrees doesn't mean that, and I'm choosing my words carefully, having a degree doesn't mean that person is better than you or smarter than you. It just means that they went to a school to say that I'm a professional. I went through the course. I have hands-on experience to say that I know how to do this thing that you're hiring me to do. And because I have this piece of paper, I'm demanding that you pay me more because of how knowledgeable I am in this arena. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It doesn't mean that somebody else is better than that than the next person. It doesn't mean that. It means that you have the skill set, you have the grit, you have the knowledge and intelligence to get this for more pay, to negotiate higher. That's what it means. You can even without a degree, you can still negotiate higher. Again, don't let that fool you. Don't let it fool you. But leaving with grace and knowing how to leave with grace is the best thing you can do, not only for yourself, representing yourself, but being a representative of someone you would want to work with in the future. Because a lot of this stuff is psychological, and people a lot of times are fascinated with mentally breaking other people. It's a very sick and twisted game, but kind of like Hunger Games. But that's kind of the things that people do to justify. See there, all I said was this, and they flipped their wig. They're out. So yeah, just remember that, y'all. Again, thank you for an amazing 2025. And I will see y'all in 2026. Happy, healthy, getting what you want, get going after what you want, going after the big wigs, going after who you need to go after in order to make your 2025, the rest of your 2025 successful, just like you're going to make your entire 2026 amazing and get the results that you want. But until then, guys, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your evening. I'll let you get back to it. But thank you guys again so much for your support. Thank you so much for your shares, your likes, subscribing. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. And it actually helps me not only get better at my craft, but share this with other people that need it. It helps me to talk to more of my international audience. It helps me talk and get the word out there on what I'm doing and also how I'm changing the game, not just in grant writing, but with what I'm doing in the legal space. So, guys, y'all have a good evening. Y'all take care, and I will see you in the next one.